Here's your news for July 25th, 2020. And your headlines for today include Randy Orton's SummerSlam 2020 plans revealed. WWE wrestler received huge props as the new locker room leader. Unexpected and shocking transition of two former world champions. Mandy and Otis storyline is back. WWE discussing plans for huge SummerSlam title change. WWE NXT superstars disrespected direct orders. Finn Balor responds to Edge wanting WWE NXT TakeOver match. Rusev takes a shot at AEW. WWE wrestler reacts after being called out for burying WWE superstars. Some in WWE are concerned about plans for Nation of Domination reboot. The Miz talks about retirement, and more. We are kicking off today by looking at WrestleMania 37, as there's reportedly some big plans for Randy Orton at the show of shows. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the current plan is to see Randy Orton once again face Edge at WrestleMania, this time in an I Quit match. This match would follow up from this year's Last Man Standing match at Mania, which Edge won, and their greatest wrestling match ever at Backlash, which Orton won and Edge got injured in. Of course, anything could happen between now and WrestleMania 37, and there's always the risk that Edge or Orton could get injured before the show of shows, but for now, fans can expect the two to clash at WrestleMania 37. Speaking of the legend killer, Orton has been a fixture of WWE since 2002 and has done everything there is to do in that time. According to Ringside News, Orton is widely regarded as a locker room leader, though that wasn't always the case. As one creative writing team member said, "He went from being the biggest shit stirrer in the locker room to Raw's locker room leader with the best attitude of any veteran." It's also been reported that Orton had a very deep discussion with Paul Heyman about how to make stars before Heyman's departure as Raw executive director. It's good to see that Orton is taking his role as a locker room leader seriously, as he's clearly well liked backstage, if not on TV. We've got more news from Edge next, as it's being reported that the recently unretired Hall of Famer has another role behind the scenes. It's being reported that both Edge and Daniel Bryan have joined the Raw and SmackDown creative teams respectively, and that they have much more input than most superstars. According to reports, both former world champions are given scripts and have access to notes from meetings with Vince McMahon, and also get a say about what gets pitched to the boss. Neither man even has to be in Stamford to help with the creative process, and it's also being noted that the two are able to pitch ideas for other superstars. Fans who remember ENC's podcast of awesomeness will recall Edge having several creative ideas, and it's good to see that these two veterans are able to help out behind the scenes. Over to SmackDown now, and this week's show saw a fatal four-way match to determine AJ Styles' next challenger. Out of the four interesting participants, namely Drew Gulak, Shorty G, Lince Dorado, and Gran Metalik, it was Metalik who got the win and a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Next week's SmackDown will mark Metalik's first shot at the IC title since joining WWE, and whilst fans are confident that the Phenomenal One will retain, it's interesting to see somebody new get a title shot. Next week's SmackDown will also mark the return of Otis and Mandy Rose, who haven't been around in recent weeks. On last night's show, a highlight package of their love story was aired to update fans, and whilst it's not clear what Rose and Mr. Money in the Bank have been doing, fans will get to see a glimpse of the happy couple on next week's SmackDown. This week's SmackDown also saw quite the interaction between the New Day, as despite the team saying they wish to stick together for their entire careers, that won't be happening now. In a backstage segment, Kofi Kingston said that he'll be on the shelf with an injury that'll keep him out for at least 6 weeks, and with Xavier Woods still injured, that leaves Big E on his own. Despite being a team, the group have dabbled in singles pushes before, most notably last year when Kofi Mania culminated in Kingston becoming the WWE Champion. There's rumors that WWE are already planning a big singles push for Big E, and given that he's a former NXT and Intercontinental Champion, let's hope Big E's brief singles run is as successful as his time before he joined the New Day. We've got even more big news from the Blue brand next, as the SmackDown Women's Championship will be on the line. Kicking off this week's show, Sasha Banks and Bayley declared that the women's evolution is dead, and after unofficially challenging Michael Cole to a SummerSlam match, bragged about their supremacy. These comments drew the ire of Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, with Cross challenging Bayley to a title match. Instead, Bayley had Cross and Bliss wrestle each other to determine the #1 contender, a match that the Scottish superstar won, and fans can look forward to seeing the former women's tag team champion try to be the one to end Bayley's incredible reign. Whilst the Cole-Bayley match wasn't made official for SummerSlam, for what we can only describe as obvious reasons, the biggest party of the summer is WWE's next pay-per-view, and could see a huge title change take place. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer noted that fans could be seeing Randy Orton capturing his 14th World Championship from Drew McIntyre, saying, "There have been rumors floating that Orton goes over and leads to a match with Edge, but that seems so counterproductive to take the title off McIntyre for Orton." A victory for Orton at the biggest party of the summer could also present an opportunity for Edge to re-enter the title picture if the Viper held the gold until WrestleMania. It's been previously reported that the company wants McIntyre to have a world title victory in front of a live crowd, something he didn't get at WrestleMania 36, and time will tell what becomes of the WWE Championship over the next year. Over to NXT now, and though WWE is making do with a makeshift crowd for their TV and special events, the treatment of those in the crowd has been less than favorable. Whilst conditions have improved from when the superstars described themselves as circus animals, they're still not great, and according to Fightful, many NXT superstars have refused to be crowd members. They said, "We're told many no-showed the backlot fight between Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream specifically. Along the way, some NXT talent, including Undisputed Era, were asked to come in as extra noise before friends of the wrestlers were eventually brought in. Prior to that, many of the top names in NXT were exempt from even being asked to come by." These refusals reportedly came even before a positive test was discovered, and the report noted that the Adam Cole vs. Velveteen Dream backlot brawl was affected by these refusals. Obviously, WWE are trying to make their TV look as good as possible despite the current circumstances, but given the reports of how poorly those in the crowd have been treated, it's not surprising to see why some are against it. Speaking of NXT, Finn Balor was recently the center of attention when Edge said he wanted to face him at a future takeover, and now the inaugural Universal Champion has responded. When Robert Stone tried to sign the Hall of Famer as a client, Edge's first demand was a match against Balor, who replied with a simple tweet saying Brood vs. D, as in Demon. Of course, Edge's next match is already rumored to be against Randy Orton, and whether a potential Balor match happens at NXT or on Raw, having the two face off would get plenty of attention. One person fans won't see in NXT, the main roster, or any of the WWE shows is Rusev, who recently had a heated exchange with Cash Wheeler on Twitter. When a fan pointed out that Wheeler would reply to Road Dogg Jesse James but not the Bulgarian Brute, Wheeler sent a tweet at Rusev challenging him to a fight. The former US champion was down for this, but in the video game world, and after giving options including Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, or FIFA, joked that they could face off in the non-existent AEW video game. Both Rusev and FTR were released from WWE earlier this year, and whilst Rusev hasn't competed in the ring in quite some time given his recent positive test, he's more than ready to throw down if there's a controller in his hand. We mentioned that Wheeler would reply to Road Dogg, but now the Hall of Famer is facing some big accusations. When Road Dogg called out FTR for using Shawn Michaels' birthday to praise his nemesis Bret Hart, Wheeler sarcastically spoke about the New Age Outlaw, saying, "Definitely a good guy that never talked shit about talent as soon as they'd walk away, and definitely wouldn't try to bury anyone that disagreed with him, definitely." This is quite the accusation from the former tag team champion, and now Road Dogg has replied, saying, "Wow, I thought we were cool, kinda just ribbing. I see one of us wasn't. My bad, dude. Good luck to y'all." Clearly, the DOGG misread the relationship that he had with the former Revival, and if he did deliberately bury someone backstage, odds are that FTR are well aware of it. We've got trademark news next, as the company has locked down on a term that suggests a new tournament is coming to TV. According to official filings, the term NXT UK Heritage Cup now officially belongs to WWE as of July 20th, and we'll have to see when this NXT UK tournament happens. As of right now, the UK brand is on hiatus due to the current situation, with several stars facing claims of wrongdoing, though Triple H did have a call with the roster a week or so ago telling them to be ready. Time will tell when NXT UK returns, but when it does, fans can look forward to the Heritage Cup taking place. Now recently there were plans for a renewed Nation of Domination, which would see MVP, Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and others team, and now we know about more possible members. It's being reported that Apollo Crews was considered for the stable, and that Ron Simmons' appearance on Raw was supposed to kickstart the angle, which would also include Mark Henry. It's now unclear whether the angle will take place, as there's reportedly a lot of people backstage who want it nixed due to the current racial tensions in the US, though WrestlingNews.co is reporting that Vince McMahon is being receptive to a lot of MVP's suggestions. Ultimately, the decision lies with Vince himself, and whether a new Nation of Domination appears or doesn't, we're sure that fans will have plenty to say about it. Over to SmackDown now, and 16 years after his WWE Tough Enough debut, The Miz has spoken about the end of his career. When one fan asked The Miz when he planned to retire from the ring, the SmackDown superstar gave a simple response, saying that he'll stop whenever it stops being fun. Given that Miz is both competing in WWE and recently began hosting USA's new competition series Cannonball, it's clear he has a lot on his plate. And as long as he's enjoying himself, fans will be seeing much more of the A-lister for many years to come. And we're ending with news from Impact Wrestling, and ever since the company picked up several former WWE superstars for its Slammiversary pay-per-view, there's been a renewed interest in the company. Now Impact have gone one step further by introducing new championship designs, with the Impact World, Knockouts, and X Division Gold all getting a new look. It's interesting that these redesigns came after Tessa Blanchard reportedly refused to hand over her Impact World Championship unless a large demand was met, a claim that the controversial former world champion has denied. As of right now, neither the World Tag Team titles or Moose's unofficial TNA World title have been updated, but it's entirely possible either piece of gold could get a redesign in the upcoming months.